And there goes.
Jeff, this really this is the payoff. I mean, I know you guys struggled a little bit down the stretch, but you were confident all along that this was going to happen for you guys.
Well, we felt all year that this was a team that could be a national tournament team. And, you know, what I love about this team is that, you know, there's a lot of people all year, starting in August when two guys left the program and signed NHL contracts and said this team couldn't win. And, you know, we've responded to adversity all year long, starting in August. And, you know, this is... you know, it's not a culmination. It's just it's another step forward. You know, that's important. This isn't a big celebration moment. It's a nice moment. We're excited about it. At the end of the day, we're going to try to win. We're not going there just to play and say we made the national tournament. So I'm happy for our guys because in college hockey, it's a body of work that gets you in the national tournament. The last 10 games, you know, we weren't as good as we'd like to be. But at the end of the day, college hockey selects the national tournament. Everybody knows how they select it, based on your body of work. And our body of work is pretty darn good. We won 20 games. We had a lot of big wins. And so I'm proud of our guys. I'm really happy for our senior class. This is a senior class that came to the program, chose to come to this program when we were between 40th and 50th in the country. When I was a rookie 32-year-old head coach. And they came here and they've driven us through their hard work and talent to being a team that's a national tournament team. So I'm happy for our seniors. I'm happy they get that chance.
We've been on the ice for the past week. Definitely been an emotional roller coaster, but glad to see that we're in.
When you talked about that going back to 3 weeks ago and the night we were here after the Colgate game, it was certainly a different tone than it is here today. Can you talk about that swing over the last 3 weeks?
I went to being at an all-time low to now being at an all-time high. Obviously, we didn't want to go out as soon as we did. We wanted to play our way into the tournament, but at the same time, this is great. I mean, it just proved that all the work that we put in during the season paid off at the end.
What was the moment like when RPI comes up on TV, even though you already knew you were in? What was that like?
It was pretty cool. I mean, yeah, we're very happy and fortunate to be here, but now that we're in, it's time for us to do some work.
Is that, it's always, everybody always says that. How do you put that into work? How do you get there and say, you know what, it's the NCAAs, it's a different atmosphere and all that, but we've got to ignore that and realize that the sheet's still as big as it is, the goals are still as big as they are, it's still just another hockey game. How do you put that into practice?
I mean, I think we already did with last week how we practiced. We didn't know that we were in the tournament, but we had to have that same mindset that, you know what, hey, we may have a second chance, so, you know, we have to make the best of every time we're on the ice. And pretty much that's what it's back down to. Just getting that intensity, that game-like feel back into our practices because we haven't played in 3 weekends now, and they have. So yeah, we have fresh legs, but at the same time, we need to get back to our game intensity.
You've always, and at times we talked to you, you've always preached about worrying about your own self, worrying about your own team. Has it been a little odd the last couple of weeks to have to root for other teams and openly root for other teams to win and or lose for you guys to have this success?
I found it easier to root for teams than to root against teams. That just didn't feel right to actually be rooting against teams. And some of them being my close friends. And, you know, I mean, Jeff Blashill, the head coach of Western Michigan, he's my best friend. He's in my wedding. And, you know, if they would have lost twice, that would have benefited us. You know, but so, I mean, that felt weird. It was pretty easy to root for Yale last night. Didn't have a problem with that at all. And certainly, I think I might owe Keith Elaine a nice dinner in Florida at the coaches' convention.
Seth, I know you guys have been confident that this day would come, but when we go back to 3 weeks ago when we were here after that Colgate game, a lot of people didn't think it would come. Can you talk about the emotions of that time?
Well, I mean, yeah, that night I didn't think it was going to come either. I knew we had a slight chance at that moment. Probably we had a better chance than I gave us credit for at that moment, but yeah, you wanted the emotion of that to sink in a little bit. You wanted to feel the sting of a tough loss, and that week was hard. That was a miserable week. It was an angry, bitter week where you know, the guys probably didn't want to be here. I didn't want to see them. They didn't want to see me. But I think our seniors did a really good job of kind of getting the guys energized at the end of that week. And then we had a really good week of practice last week. Our captains, I think, did a good job of keeping the guys focused. And the point being that since we were here and we had a chance, we might as well try to be great in practice. We might as well get after each other. We needed to simulate game speed. It was a physical week of practice.
And we've been practicing for the last week, and like I was saying to one of the other reporters, is I mean, it's easy to get the physical side back, but the mental, you're always thinking, maybe we're not going to be in. So now it's nice to know that we're in. So it makes it easier to go out there and practice.
You knew you guys were going to be in last night.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is kind of nice, but still, you got that moment when your name comes on TV and it's real. What was that like for you?
Yeah, like you said, it's real. Now we can go out there and have something to focus on.
Has it been an odd couple of weeks where you have to root
It's
for
been the
other
weirdest
teams?
part of my hockey life for sure, because you're trying to watch games, you're hoping you're in, and then like our odds were not the best a couple weeks ago, and then they get better, and then you're trying to figure out what to do. Like, it's really weird. I can't even describe it. So it's nice that it's over and that we know we're in. So
When you talk about that, back to a couple weeks ago when we were here after that Colgate game and it didn't look good, and now 3 weeks later, here we are. Can you talk about that kind of range of emotion where we're at?
It's a roller coaster ride. I mean, you go from basically being done, and you go through that, season's over, everyone's down, and then all of a sudden you get the second life. So it's really amazing, and hopefully we can take advantage of it.
And it's North Dakota, a team that obviously has an awful lot of offensive firepower.
Yeah.
But at this time, a goalie can win this series for you. Is that
one game.
nice?
It's one game. I played against Ratton before. He's an amazing player. I know that. I played him in juniors. They have a great decor. Played with one of their defensemen too. They have a great team. And one game, we gotta play them hard, and we gotta play them the way we play. And hopefully, things go our way.
We go real hard in practice as a team, and Coach coming from Denver, the WCHA is very, very familiar with North Dakota. And he's going to have a plan put together for us, and all we need to do is follow him and execute.
Seth, you talked about it before, but how big is having 3 ECAC teams in the tournament?
Well, I would like to see 4. I would. I just think that I've said all year that I believe that this is the best our league has been in the years I've been here, and certainly it seems to be the best the league has been in maybe quite some time. I think that you certainly see that teams like Cornell, Princeton, Dartmouth are also potentially worthy of being national tournament teams. So I think it's just great. I think it's nice that we have 3. I think we're on our way as a league to maybe being a league that can get 4 or 5 in. But you saw it in a non-conference record. We're about 60% as a league non-conference this year, which is outstanding. So we're thrilled. We're hoping that Yale and Union represent our league extremely well, and more importantly, we're trying to be focused on us going out and representing the ECAC extremely proud.
You draw North Dakota, a couple of bounces here or there, they could be the number 1 overall seed in this tournament. Obviously with 16 teams in this tournament, every single team is very good. But talk a little bit about North Dakota and the strengths that they have.
Well, the nice thing is I know their program very well. There is a real dislike between the Denver program and the North Dakota program. Respect, but a dislike. And when I was at Denver as an assistant, I was fortunate to be coaching some really big games against that program. League championships, playoff championships, regional championships, and national championship games. So I have a lot of familiarity. Dave Haxtell has done a great job there. It's one of the best programs in college hockey, traditionally and right now. But the nice thing is that you're coming into a program where you're playing a team that you have a little bit of familiarity with, so you feel some confidence with that familiarity.
It's obviously a great atmosphere. It's going to be a great experience for all the guys to get up there. And having been there before, when I was at Air Force, we were the 16th seed underdog. We went in, beat the number 1 overall seed in Michigan. And, we're kind of looking at a similar situation here, and it'll be a great chance. This whole season for us has been about second chances, getting knocked out of our tournament earlier than we wanted to, and now we get another shot. And I just think the guys are excited. It's a great opportunity.
What's different? What feels different when you walk into a building, even if you've been in that building before, when the NCAA logo is on the ice as opposed to the home team logo?
Well, obviously that's our goal from the beginning of the season, is to win a national championship. So that's what's at stake, and it's the biggest stage in college hockey. So that's what we live for. That's what we play for.
Yeah. You guys knew you were going. The pairwise makes it nice and straightforward. But still, when your name gets called on TV, you've been through that twice now. What's that feeling?
Obviously, it's a great experience. It's what you work for, and it's a relief in some senses because it comes up to numbers and it's out of your control, being that we didn't win our league. But now we have this second chance, this second opportunity, and I think all the guys are ready to seize it moving forward.
When you look at stories like this, we in the media love these stories of here's a team that was counted out, we didn't think they'd get in, they make an amazing run, and they're the story. Can you appreciate something like that? Can this have that fairy tale ending that we love?
Well, I mean, I guess yes, but we wouldn't view it as a fairy tale. We believe we deserve to be a national tournament team. We believe that we've been a team that for most of the year was a top 10 team. And we were in the top 10 in the national computer rankings and the polls for a good chunk of the second half of the season. We stumbled a little bit down the stretch, and now we got a second lease on life. And we're not going to just see what happens. We're going there to try to win. We know how good North Dakota is. We have a tremendous amount of respect for them. Great program, really talented team. Matt Fratton certainly is a leading candidate for the Hobie Baker Award this year. And they're loaded throughout their lineup. But at the end of the day, we believe we're pretty good, and we're going to go take our best shot.
You know, there's a lot of guys in the locker room that don't like losing, being, you know, whether it's a puck battle or, you know, guys want to be winners. And the competitive levelness was very high during that game, and you know that's what happens when guys get a little frustrated. You know, they go after each other, but that's good. That's what we need.
Let's get a shot at North Dakota. Obviously, one of the best teams in the nation. Is that a position that you would want to be in, where you get a shot at one of the best teams right away?
Yeah, I mean, to get where you want to be in this in the tournament, you got to go through those best teams, and why not, you know, play one of them right away and get it out of the way. And you know, I think they're going to be looking past us a little bit, you know, and looking towards Denver again. But you know, that plays right in our favor, and you know, we've played against a lot of good teams this year and done very well for ourselves, and I think we're going to be ready to go, well rested, and ready to play.
People will talk about RPI as being that Cinderella story, a team that, you know, lost early in their conference. Does that make you guys angry when you hear people start talking about you as it's kind of like this? It's an upset if you guys do anything good in this tournament. Does that anger you a little bit?
You know, we played well all year. Yeah, we lost games down the stretch, but if you look at our first half of the season, you know, we only lost one non-conference game, and you know, the rest of the season is all non-conference, and we've done very well for ourselves in these positions, and set us up to do very well for, you know, the tournament, and that's what we're striving to do all year, and we've got the opportunity to do something special.
You've been off for almost 3 weeks by the time you've been playing North Dakota. What kind of effect do you think that has on the team and the way you're going to play on Saturday?
Well, if we play very well, I think everybody will say we were fresh. And if we play poorly, I think everybody will say that we were rusty. So, you know, I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, hindsight will always be 20/20 in that. We gave them a week off, and I thought that was positive. They practiced on their own 3-on-3 tournament last Thursday, and then Friday they played a Canadian-American scrimmage. The Canadians won, by the way, and sang their national anthem at center ice. Gave them the weekend off, and then we reconvened on Tuesday. And at that point, the odds were looking better. And as I said before, I really like the week of practice we had. One day I thought was a little subpar, and I addressed it. And I just said, you know, we're here. We're going to try to be great, and we're going to be prepared for our shot if we get called. And then on Thursday and Friday, the intensity was outstanding. Thursday was a great practice. Friday we scrimmaged, and it was extremely physical. We tried to simulate game speed. We tried to simulate game situations. We played periods. We gave them a little more time in between shifts at times so they could rest, because obviously you don't have enough lines in each team. But the guys were extremely physical with each other. They got after each other. There was a fight in the game. And I thought that was a real positive step towards trying to simulate game speed the best that we can.